Hey, we're live.
Hey, well, hi, good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing today?
Good
Good. How
morning.
you doing?
Fine, thank you.
All right, so today we will be talking about how music affects, wait, no, how violence affects music and young teenagers. So, first, we'll start with music. So, teenagers and almost everybody listens to music, and it's like famous rappers such as 50 Cent or Lil Wayne or whatever, they talk about like violence, like shooting niggas and all this other stuff. And like it just influences people, such as like little kids who listen to it. And like they're gonna think, oh, since he's saying it, I could go and do it, and I won't get in trouble for it. So let me just go and shoot someone or go beat the shit out of someone, and everything will be okay. So, what do you guys think of that? Like, is it right to listen to be having people sing about stuff such as gang violence and stuff, or is it like all right?
Well, for me, that's a 50-50 situation because if it wasn't right, the government would have banned them from singing. So I guess it's just that they're entertainers, and entertainment is something that is part of everyone's social life. So I think they're entertaining us. So it's up to we the audience to know if what they're saying is right or not. Because if you look at this, like on the cigarette pack, they sell cigarettes is not good for your health. But on the cigarette pack, they say smoking is not good for your health. So I guess in the end, it's your decision if you want to listen to them or not. Because not everyone listens to 50 Cent and stuff. They have some people that listen to strictly gospel, some people that listen to rap. But generally speaking, it's not positive stuff they're singing about. So I don't think it's right. But generally speaking, in terms of like the population and stuff, taking them into consideration, some people might think it's right, some people might think it's wrong. But at the end of the day, it's the government that is in charge of saying what is right and what is wrong for our country.
The government shouldn't ban it, but people should know not to do what's in the songs. I mean, most of these artists and stuff like that, they're not even like the way they portray themselves, and or they've gotten to a point in their lives where they're what they say in the lyrics is more of what's gone on in the past and stuff like that, where maybe they would have put up violence and stuff like that. So I mean, to me, it's okay as long as you're not actually going through with the action. I think that's the most important thing is that they don't go through with the action.
Okay, Marion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything both you guys said. It comes down to like the people who are listening to it. Like a young audience is gonna take it like too word for word or be too easily influenced by it. And then subconsciously like hearing it, even if you don't like think that you are like taking it in, like you are taking in like all the violent imagery and like um, things that they're saying. So I think it comes down to if it's something like for a young audience, like maybe their parents, because the government, what can the government really do about music? Because we're supposed to have our freedom of speech. So like, it's not like that corresponded to like literal violent crimes, but like it is, but not in the sense that they're saying pick up a gun and shoot someone. So they can't really just like ban it or anything, but I think at like young ages, I think parents should be watching what their kids are listening to. I think that's something that they can do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
So
parent
basically,
involvement is important.
like you would have like see the parents just watch over basically what the kids are listening to at a like a good pace. That's
Well,
what
I
you're
think at
trying.
like a certain like below like a certain age, not have like 18-year-olds and their mom is like looking over their iTunes, but you know what I mean? Like when they're young and you like hear music, if you hear something that's like questionable, because I remember when I was younger and then I'd be listening to music and if a song was like a whole bunch of cursing and like vulgar things, my mom would be like, turn that off. Don't listen to that. Like she had no problem just being like, you're not listening to that, or at least not when she's around. You know what I mean? So I think that also like comes into account. And then I'd be like scared to play it like at home. I'd be like, I can't listen to this song.
Yeah, my brother, my sister, and I were listening to Radio Disney while everyone else was listening to Hot 97. So That's like another thing in my house. And another thing's like my nephew now. He's like 2. He's gonna turn 3 later on this month. He he listens to the Iggy Azalea, the whatever that fancy song. And but the only I mean, but when he listens to it here, it's like only the cursing version. He's 2, so obviously, and he knows all the words to it. So my dad
I
goes, he
never
goes
heard the
crazy
cur-
when he
I've
listens to
never
it.
heard the cursing version before.
Or whatever the explicit one was, I don't know.
Oh,
But
okay.
parental involvement's important. I agree with Marion.
So parent
Yeah, he had a
supervision
good point.
should be like given to people that younger audiences, and the above, like maybe let's say like the age limit would be 16, maybe 15, 14, doesn't matter. But parents should supervise basically all kids that are like 13 and down because they're still young, they're still discovering. Then 14 to 15, because that's around the time they're going to be in high school. They're going to want to be cool and listen to the cool music. So they
Yeah,
should just watch out and everything.
but would they know what it means too? You gotta know that as well. Sometimes you listen
Yeah,
to songs, you have no idea what they're saying, but they know all the lyrics.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
true.
most people because well, they don't pay attention to the lyrics.
Yeah, because you could be singing randomly one day and then like someone could hear you and they'll like give you a dirty look like, do you know what you're singing? And they cannot even understand what it means. So that's how it like happens sometimes.
Yeah,
But
good.
when it comes to like concept, what age range is suitable for listening to certain type of music, right? But if you look at each and every one, they have a different time in which they mature. So like some person might, mature at age like say 16. In that case, they know to make decision for themselves at that age. But some other kids might do that till like 19, 20. It all depends on their body metabolism. So it's like saying that you want them to have guidance in this music they listen to. Like that's a bit hard to do because sometimes when a kid meet like age of 16, he feels he's mature, but in true sense he's not. So in that case, his parents might just give up in the grooming him because he's all rude and stuff. So I think like the music that is being played, they should like actually censor it, have some form of censorship. Because I know for like certain movies they have the censored version and the uncensored version, and they say the censored version is strictly for adults. Like before the movie start, they say only adults should be looking at this movie, right? So they like put a label over it in front, so you know that before it starts. But like these songs just start just like that, so I guess the song should be just censored. But if the songs are censored, some people will be upset and some will be happy again. So I don't know. That's a very, very tough one. But I think, generally speaking, they're not singing about positive stuff. So it's actually helping to uproar violence more.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. You're looking at a kid whose mother took him and his brother to see Wedding Crashers live at the movies. That was my mom. She almost ran out of the theater with us. It was so quick over there. We had to go see another movie. So I agree with that. And
Yeah, it's the same thing as movies. If
yeah,
a kid
direct
wants
cinema.
something, like for example, kids saw The Purge and they were like, "Oh, if The Purge happens one day, I'm gonna go kill this person and that person and this person and that person," thinking like they're gonna go kill someone if The Purge actually happens. And, like pray to God it doesn't happen, but still, like you don't want your child saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go kill someone because I saw it in the movie."
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's the little kids who be saying stuff like that sometimes too. I mean, I have a little sister and she sees Justin Bieber and all this other stuff and she sees other girls like bigger younger but okay, bigger but like younger girls around like 15 and 16 and so on. She sees them having boyfriends. She's gonna be like, "Oh, I want a boyfriend," and she could see Twilight and all this other stuff. She'll be like, "I want a vampire boyfriend," and all this stuff, and it influences. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Oh, well, that was good. On to the next topic. Violence also influences young teenagers. Now, you see, at first I didn't get how this process works, but then I was like, well, if you really stop to think about it, there's a lot of stuff that would like influence young teens. So let's see, like I said before, the movies and stuff. that promotes violence, such as The Purge or like war movies. But like, it's not even that. It's like peer pressure sometimes from other teens that want to do violent stuff, such as like rob banks or beat the shit out of someone. Like, they're thinking that since someone else is doing it, that they have every right to go and do it as well. Like, it's not like that in all cases because some teens know how to control themselves, but like in some cases, teens are gonna think that since other people can go and do violent stuff, that they could go and do it as well. Basically, be a follower, following everybody's ass around. So violence would influence them in that way because they're gonna think, oh, I could go and do this since they're doing it and they're doing it and my friend, my best friend is doing it. I could obviously do it. So like they might go beat the shit out of someone one day or even kill someone and they're gonna be like, oh, I saw someone else doing it, so it influenced me. It thought I automatically thought that I could do it like in that 1 second. So that's how I think violence influences young teenagers. Anybody's opinion on it?
Well, I think that's more of a problem with maybe the younger youth, maybe of 7, 8, 9, 10, stuff like that. That might be an issue with them. It could be an issue with young teens, but I think that the teens are a little more mature enough to be able to make a decision right there. So, like you say, if they have the option to join you know, to join a group like that, a group that has a lot of violence or not, they can be pressured into it. But they also they can really, with the help of a lot of people, they can make a really good decision and decide not to do that and go to school and join a club at school and all that stuff. So, um, yeah, I don't think it's I think it's a problem, but it's not too much of an issue with the teenagers. I think more the younger youth you should really be worried about.
Okay, Lance.
Yeah, well, addressing that right in my on my previous topic, which was to find out, want to know if violence is like a social infectious disease. Is something coming down to that in that tone because like I was questioning it if it's the violence keep continuing because like people see people do stuff and they want to do it. So like for instance, you like years ago you know about a situation whereby like someone shot someone because they like jammed their car or something. So like in this day and age now, if someone jam your car now, you will remember the same incident and you might want to take the same action because that's what comes to mind right away, a similar situation. But at that time, you did not think about the consequences of the situation. Although you might be mature, a teenager, or whatever, it still comes down to your temperament at that moment because in most violent cases which are fatal, you find that it's adrenaline, like they just get adrenaline rush and they act without thinking. Because most of these persons, like after they've committed these offenses, like days after they actually regret because at the moment they make the decision to shoot the person or injure them, they did not like, actually were in their true senses and thinking. So I think somewhat it's like it's up to you. It's not like it's external factor. It's up to you to make that correct decision at the same time, and your mind must be mature. So I think you should have like programs that make kids aware of these situations. So when they're in the situation, they can know to control themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Miriam?
I think that I agree with Kevin up to a point. Like when you said younger children um, have a hard time, and I think they're easily pressured. But I think also it is young teenagers that are pressured. Like even 14, 15, like junior high school and high school, they're also still very impressionable and like they really want to be cool and they'll do anything. And I think also when it comes to like if you're into like recreational drugs or drinking and then a situation is going on, it's much easier for you to get involved because then you also have lower inhibitions and then people are telling you what to do and you're just going into it, going to the motions and you're just like trying to fit in and I think that definitely happens. Like obviously it's not fully external, you have to have your own boundaries and morals, but like a lot of it like a lot of people at that age are immature. they don't have the like courage or willpower to be like, no, I can't. There's just still too focused on fitting in.
Yeah, I think it's very convoluted. There's a lot of factors that go into it, like home life, peer pressure, of course. Having someone there, like a mentor there for you. Who do you associate yourself with and stuff like that. There's so many different things that go into it, and whether or not maybe the situation, in that community too. Do they have a task force? Do they have community centers open and stuff like that for people to be able to get away from uh, maybe a path that leads them towards violence. So, um, so I think it's very important that they have someone, like a child has someone there, or a young teen has someone there, especially the teenagers. And there's someone to be able to talk things out with, so they can make a really good, important decision, and not anything bad that might risk their lives.
Okay, I agree completely. Alright. Someone can go next if they want to.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Mhm.